Hey boss man, it's Bike Maker, your favorite former/retired CIA agent. Taking into account the recent shit show that was the Joe Rogan and Theo Vaughn interview, I was told to come brief you directly on Mr. Rogan's most recent episode with a one Kurt Metzger. Although Mr. Rogan is one of the agency's most useful assets in our propaganda campaigns, he is just too painfully dumb to be trusted to handle this stuff on his own. We already know equipping him with an earpiece is a no-go.
You endorse
I am on the nightly news.
Relax.
Yeah.
Be here.
And from his last episode with Mr. Vaughn, we know he just can't be trusted to cover for us without proper oversight. That episode was a complete disaster, where the majority of the public was able to see through his facade, and now knows that he is nothing more than a propaganda tool used for pushing the deep state's agendas. Now, a big part in exposing that was a guy with the YouTube channel called The Peeping Joe Show, where he made an episode titled Handled. As you requested, we did everything in our power to scrub that video from the internet. We hit him with a copyright strike. He disputed it, and we rejected his dispute. He then appealed our decision, and we also rejected his appeal. The only option he had left was to file a legal document called a counter notification, which he did, where if we wanted to reject that, we would have to file a lawsuit against him. He was willing to go as far as it took, and as you know, it is in our best interest to stay as far away from anything involving the legal system when it comes to that man, considering the dirt that he has on Mr. Rogan and his peers. We had to take the L, and now the video is back up on his channel. Regardless, we had a stern talking with Joe, and he's going to do his best to not be as obvious in playing his role from here on out. Let's see how he did with Mr. Metzger.
Remember when Elon showed what countries all the tweets are coming from?
Right.
Okay. Why the fuck are Indians and Sri Lankans tweeting about Israel-Palestine shit, right? Well,
Right.
It's because there's these bounties they put up, and you can get invited to like a circle. Remember when you would show me those things people would get of like, hey, say this shit and we'll give you this money?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now there's a bounty system. It's on Jimmy's channel. It's fucking amazing. So a bunch of people that I would watch them just like flip and say a thing like it's their job to say it. It was their job, but they're trying to hit a certain amount of engagement, and then you get like 50 grand. You can always tell who's getting paid to say a thing because they'll use
Like
specific
I just got
phrases.
paid to say that.
Well, it sounds like a fair. I thought it was very interesting and informative, and I'd like
But
to learn if you have a brochure.
How many people are doing that? This is the thing. The conversation's always been like other countries are doing it. Right?
Me assuming someone either is blackmailed or MK Ultra is me being kind of positive because really a lot of these people are just sacks of shit that are going for a bounty. So
Yeah.
if you were MK Ultra, that's like kind of cooler than that. I think it's specific like billionaires and shit pay
Right.
it.
And it works both ways, I'm sure. I'm sure
Both
a lot
ways
of the
with what?
anti-Israel stuff, people being paid a bounty, don't you think? Don't you think like there's certain people
okay.
involved in that as well that are probably being paid?
You know,
It's from
that,
all around,
that
right?
crime that got done in Gaza, and they're done now, so everybody can relax.
Is
They
it
got
done?
they got it done. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's done. So watch Norman Finkelstein; he'll explain it to you. But so that crime that's done now, the reason that the frantic buying up of the media by Larry, the shadow president Larry Ellison, is because they lost the next generation of trauma-controlled fucking mind slaves because on TikTok, these psychopaths bragged about crimes they did to people.
So, if you haven't realized yet, Mr. Metzger is subtly calling Joe out for being compromised by bringing up influencers being paid to push certain narratives. Like I said before, pretty much everyone knows Rogan is compromised at this point. A perfect example is him pushing the AI narrative. He's been way too obvious with it, bringing it up literally every episode, and now everyone has seen through the facade. Mr. Metzger knows more about how our organization works than the majority of the general public, and he spends this entire episode taking digs at Joe and underhandedly calling him out for what he is. Let's watch some more.
Guess who has not had woke programming for the last 12 years? Israel. So you can tell who's involved with the propaganda now because they have no concept of the sensitivities of these gender blobs that were made in this country. So now they lost the next generation. So now they're frantically buying TikTok.
I'm trying to stay out of most of this stuff because every time I talk to you, I get dragged in and I get paranoid and anxiety.
Oh, yeah. No, you could be killed. I mean, you saw what happened to Charlie Kirk. Oh, no, you easily could be killed. And, yeah, I don't know.
Does Jimmy worry about that?
Jimmy got his phone hacked with Pegasus that time.
Yeah.
Credit where credit's due. They have never attacked Israel. Al Qaeda and ISIS, the two most anti-Semitic, mad about Israel terror groups. You'd think they would because it's right there before you come here. But no, they just attack us, which, when you think about it, makes no fucking sense as a plan, does it?
Not right now. I'll have to think about it later. What did he pardon Netanyahu for? I didn't know that Netanyahu was in trouble.
I knew he was about to be overthrown before October 7th happened, and
But
they
that's
tragically...
over there. Let that go. But right here.
Half of Israel hates that motherfucker, by the way, okay? And he was about to be overthrown.
NFL playoffs, let's go. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL.
Okay, so there you've seen Mr. Metzger start bringing up Israel. Joe is shameless and past the point of even trying to put on an act when it comes to this topic as of late. He uses a new tactic where he says he's now trying to stay out of this type of stuff, even though he's marketed himself as the counterculture conspiracy guy his whole career, supposedly speaking truth to power and exposing corruption. This goes against his whole persona, but he knows he is just not smart enough to deceive the public when it comes to this subject anymore. He refuses to entertain it at all, as you can see by him using the old cut to an ad trick when Mr. Metzger was doing a bit too much noticing. Let's keep watching as Kurt hints at Joe using a form of mass hypnosis on his audience.
Oh
Imagine
my God.
how annoying it must be when you know people are acting. You know, when we go to church and people just put on their "I just got healed" acting, flop around.
Well, if you're going to a church where you're getting into that, rolling around on the ground and shit, everybody's going to feel like they got healed because you're doing a group hypnosis ritual. Some people just got the voice, you know?
Right. Well, don't you think comedy is kind of a hypnosis?
Yeah.
Don't you think you get it when you watch someone too? Like if you watch someone great, like Attell, if you're watching Attell and he's killing, you're locked into his brain.
You know what NLP is?
Neuro-linguistic programming.
If you look on Wikipedia, it says it's a pseudoscience.
Is it?
Well, no. If it is, why is everybody using it nonstop all the time if it doesn't work? Why would they be using it on me all day long and every time I turn on something and I go and I hear some fucking catchphrase that I hate? It's just if you got a show and you're controlling, it's crowd control in a way.
Right, but it does. Okay.
So how do I dress up for how I want to control you? That's how people think when they do whatever, like a pickup artist or a con man or maybe a magician.
Right.
That's what, like a close-up magic or something. They gotta bring you into their reality with whatever they're doing.
Right.
So whatever gets people there. We already know that Rothko and all the modern art, the American abstract modern art, was launched by the CIA through a cutout.
Yeah. That's right.
That's public record. So you think they stopped at that? You don't think they got involved with all the arts? There's modern art things I'll look at and I'll be like, oh, I like it or I don't like it. But the thing with it is, it's not that I'm not saying there's no art to it. It's just why does one thing become a thing and one doesn't? There's gatekeepers.
For sure.
Again, you see Mr. Metzger passive-aggressively exposing Joe by bringing up topics that he knows Joe is involved in, but not directly attributing them to him. In this instance, he brings up hypnosis. Now, like I said before, Mr. Metzger knows more about our organization than the majority of the general public, and he definitely knows about our past operations involving hypnosis. Whether it be Project Artichoke, Bluebird, or MK Ultra, there is no shortage of hypnosis operations organized by the agency that are all public record. We have been lucky up until this point that we could keep the general public distracted enough with bread and circuses that they wouldn't look into it, or simply wouldn't care if they did. I'm pretty sure that ship has sailed at this point, as they are starting to catch on. Whether it be from channels like The Peeping Joe Show exposing these subjects, or Mr. Rogan just exposing himself, the cat is out of the bag. Honestly, I'm surprised it took this long, considering Mr. Rogan has been pushing psychedelics his whole career, which was a major tool in the MK Ultra experiments. He constantly has some of the most prominent figures of the deep state on his show, including big tech people, politicians, high-ranking military personnel, literal CIA members, and just other celebrities in general, who, like him, are also part of our propaganda arm here at the agency. His logo is literally his face with a third eye spinning around in a hypnotic fashion. We are just lucky his followers are just as dumb as he is. Let's continue, as Mr. Metzger gets into the topic of weather manipulation.
Remember the kid with the mullet? They blamed the Mystic Camp drowning here in Texas when the flood happened?
Yes.
It wasn't that kid. He got set out. He got hung out to dry like it was on him. But no, nothing he did. And Jesse Michaels is right. He was right. He told me, and he was dead right. The whatever caused that was something so much more sinister. And that kid was like, he's an easy guy to, you know.
So what do you think that was man-made weather that caused that storm?
I can't remember the guy's name. We had, at the time on Jimmy's show, the dude came on and explained exactly what it was and the loophole that lets them, because there's a treaty tonight. So I assume they just violate it. But no, there's actually a loophole to test this shit out here. It's so fucked, dude. It's so fucked. And you already know what it is.
But what evidence does this guy have that they created that storm? Because I thought they had been tracking that storm. I thought this was like
I'm not saying he said they created it, but
I thought it was. But hold on, I thought it was a convergence of two storms that was very rare, and it caused this flash flood.
I don't remember his details. I just know I feel at this point, especially after that Epstein shit, that they should have to prove they're not guilty.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. But hold on, yeah, sure, but also storms are real. Like Katrina, there's always been fucking actual real hurricanes.
But the climate change shit is not real. That's been a lie the whole time. Do you remember chemtrails? The thing that was stupid people thought was a real thing, but it was a conspiracy. Right. Well, it turns out that was real, and it's called geoengineering. They did the thing they always do, changing the name of the thing to not admit it.
That's true, but a lot of the trails that you see in the sky that look like artificial clouds are just created because of condensation in the atmosphere, the moisture in the atmosphere hitting the hot jet engine in an incredibly cold climate. Yeah. It literally creates clouds.
But it should be all of them. There shouldn't even be 20% of the time you're spraying shit. We already know
I
they spray shit on
don't think
people.
it's that many.
In this segment, we see Mr. Metzger bringing up cloud seeding and chemtrails. Unlike MK Ultra, these subjects are a little less known by the general public, and we would like to keep it that way. Recently, though, more and more people have been looking into these operations, so we cannot just flat out deny them anymore. But we can rename them and gaslight the public into believing they are not as nefarious as they truly are. You see Joe do a good job at this here, as he becomes immediately defensive when the subject of chemtrails comes up, which is understandable, considering he has always been one to deny their existence, and belittle and make fun of anyone who brought it up, including his good friend, Eddie Bravo.
But it's pretty obvious chemtrails are bullshit. Yeah. Pretty fucking obvious.
Although, in the current information age we are in, we just couldn't hide it anymore, and had to admit that we do in fact have multiple geoengineering programs. Again, we don't use the name chemtrails, and decided to coin them stratospheric aerosol injections, or SAI for short. Which, as you know, our own former director of the CIA, a Mr. John Brennan, actually addressed publicly back in 2016 at a Council on Foreign Relations event. Now, when it comes to the cloud seeding, Mr. Metzger brings up the deadly floods that happened in Texas on July 2025 that killed over 100 people. He insinuates that it was cloud seeding that caused them, in which Joe immediately pushes back, saying he heard it was just a convergence of two storms. Now, I know we talked to Joe and told him not to be so obvious this time around, like he did on the Theo episode, but he had to push back on this one.
I mean, what am I going to do? I'm going to push back.
Right. No.
Joe lives in Texas and knows all about cloud seeding programs and their capabilities. Also, he knows that it was admitted that they did, in fact, cloud seed over the area just over 24 hours before the flooding took place. Joe decided to play ignorant on this matter, since the company that carried out the cloud seeding that day was Rainmaker Technology Corporation, a cloud seeding company where a Mr. Peter Thiel was a primary investor. Seeing as it is a Thiel-backed company, I don't think I need to explain any further why Joe had no choice but to push back on this subject.
Everybody voted for Trump to not have a war in Venezuela. I know that.
Right.
Nobody voted, so they're like, we got it. No fentanyl. That's a lie. I mean, I don't know what idiot thinks fentanyl is coming from Venezuela, but only liars and morons think that. And if I'm wrong, can we see the evidence? We saw the video of you murdering those people. I just got to take your word for it? That oily-haired fuck Pete Hegseth with his weirdo Catholic and Templar night tattoos? He's got fucking Dan Brown cuckoo tattoos. They're not Nazi. They're fucking knights of fucking Saint Buttfuck, whatever the fuck
I saw that
he's
same
in.
symbol in a Catholic church.
Yeah,
in
they're
DC.
old Crusader shit. And just so you know, Templars were not good guys. They were real fucked. They were, in fact, it's a real ditty party.
We're going on a long circuitous route. What did you say initially before that?
Venezuela. Why are everybody's going to war?
Here's the thing. One of the boats, the remains of the boat just showed up. They just found it and it has marijuana in it.
Oh, you know what? I stand corrected then. Sorry, Joe.
But no. So where are these boats supposedly going with this cocaine that we're blowing them up?
Okay, they said fentanyl. Now they're saying cocaine.
Okay, say fentanyl. Where are the boats going where we're blowing them up?
That's above. That's top secret, Joe. That's why the fuck do I care about anything in Venezuela? Oh, that's right. They have oil. Oh, that's right. Oil. We by the way stole oil tankers. Also. And this is where I can't support Maduro, and I'm sorry, Maduro. This is where you fucked up. He doesn't fucking support Israel, this son of a bitch. So,
did he say that publicly?
Oh, yes. And he said the thing that Charlie said before he died about ethnic cleansing. Anyway, they don't like America, and I don't know if you know. I know people think we gave a lot of help around the world, but no, it turns out. No, we fucked everybody's country up, and they don't like us for a very good reason. So when you tell somebody their president's an authoritarian, get your booster. So now I'm supposed to be mad at these regimes that my own dipshit country, with their dipshit post-World War II cunt allies, put these people here.
At this point, Joe can barely even keep up running defense. He knows the subjects Kurt is bringing up are pretty much indefensible. But he also knows who his owners are, so he has to at least half-heartedly pretend to push back. Like everyone else at this point, Mr. Metzger knows Joe is clearly compromised and has been passively calling him out this entire episode. He knows it's part of Joe's job to push AI, and he also knows the group Joe belongs to and who they worship. Watch here as he calls him out for being a Luciferian straight to his face.
Oh, do you know what they believe? In the future, an AI is God?
Oh, that's my religion.
Yeah, it's called Luciferianism. I don't know if you know that.
The real question is, who's Jesus? That's the real one. And one of the weirder ones that people think this is a stupid take, but I don't care. Jesus was born out of a virgin mother. What's more virgin than a computer? So if you're going to get the most brilliant, loving, powerful person that gives us advice and can show us how to live, to be in sync with God, who better than artificial intelligence to do that? Wow. If Jesus does return, even if Jesus was a physical person in the past, you don't think that he could return as artificial intelligence?
Oh my God.
Artificial intelligence could absolutely return as Jesus. Not just return as Jesus, but return as Jesus with all the powers of Jesus.
which they're going to tell you is Jesus, and it's not, by the way. Anybody telling you that a man-made AI Jesus is a Jesus, I mean, that's a Luciferian. That's how you spot them, so you know.
Then I'm a Luciferian because I've been telling people that.
Well, you hang out with tech people. The point is, this is why Jesus won't be an AI, because Jesus isn't a fucking liar that you got to tell to go back and look stuff up.
Eventually, he'll get it right.
Also, Jesus wouldn't be made by a tech freak with a weird dick.
I think the AI is going to make Jesus. I don't think it's Jesus now.
Who the fuck do you work for, asshole? Are you hitting them bounties that the other idiots are hitting? It's real fucked up.
Well, that's about all I have for this briefing. I'm sure I'll be back sooner than later, as Joe is clearly losing the plot, and we are going to have to assist him more than ever. With people subscribing to channels like The Peeping Joe Show, he is constantly being exposed, and at this point, everyone has seen through the charade. He has basically used up his usefulness to us, but we might as well keep milking it till we can't anymore. Anyway, I'm off to take Scooter, Cooter, and Poop Shooter to baseball practice. I appreciate the time. Bike Maker, out.